Hello and welcome back to the review realm. It's Sienna and today we're going to be taking a look at the film Grease because according to this poster, it is one of the top 100 films of all time, and every single Tuesday I review one of the films that is on this list. So stick to the end of the video where I will have a random number generator pick which film I am going to be reviewing next week. But this week it is the 1978 film Grease, which stars John Travolta as Danny and Olivia Newton-John as Sandy. Now, Grease is set in the 1950s, and you follow two summer lovers, Danny and Sandy, and they have a bit of a summer fling, but Sandy is new to the area. She's an exchange student, and then school starts up, and she is going to this high school where her summer fling just happens to also go Danny. And Danny is your typical bad boy, leather jacket, greasy hair, while Sandy is the new innocent girl, and she is just sort of trying to find her way, not only with this guy who she had this summer fling, who now really wants nothing to do with her too much because he has a reputation to uphold. He is the bad boy. He has to be the bad boy, while Sandy is just like sweet and innocent, and she's trying to make friends, but also trying to figure out why Danny wants nothing to do with her. Now, this film is a musical, and I will say the music is really the star of the show. It's what makes this film enjoyable, and they do a fantastic job, especially with the musical numbers. The dancing, phenomenal. The sets just really help fit the vibe, and the singing, especially by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, are standout performances. They can really sing, and it's amazing to hear. And I will say the songs are some of my favorite parts about this film, and I would say even if you haven't even seen Grease, you've probably heard some of the music, whether that's Grease Lightning or You're the One That I Want, a great ending number. Now, the supporting cast as well does a great job within the music. Everyone can sing within this film. It is a musical, so you would expect that, but they do a fantastic job. And the supporting characters, you're like, if I met them in real life, I probably wouldn't like them, but they do make them very likable, and everyone is sort of dealing with their own stuff, which I think just does a really good job of humanizing all of these characters, and there's a lot of them, so it is hard to pick which ones like the audience for them to get to know, but they do introduce them fast enough so the story doesn't drag on too much, and also when they are dealing with the challenge, they do become likable in that sense. Now, I will say the pacing in this film, at some parts it does slip, but then it does pick back up. It does a good job of that. Now, there are some side plots that they don't fully dive into, like they'll mention it, then they get one song, and then that's kind of it. And you're like, okay, they could have dived deeper into that, but then they're just like, whoop, back onto our main couple. And you're like, okay, that's cool. So that is one thing about Grease. They could have thought deeper about some of the things that they were trying to show, but overall, it is still an enjoyable film. I don't think it hurts the film too much. And I will say the musical numbers do carry this film a lot. That's what makes them enjoyable. And of course, our main two characters, Danny and Sandy, who are played by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, they have amazing chemistry. Like, when you see them on screen together, you could tell, like, these are two high schoolers who actually love each other and, like, want to be in a relationship, but life's kind of hard, and they both have things that are going on and reputations to uphold. So things of that nature, they do a great job of showing. Now, some of the things in this film could be considered outdated, especially I know the ending is a bit controversial because Sandy changes herself. So there's things like that people don't necessarily love, which I get where that criticism is coming from, but I do think it is a good ending to this film. I don't think it necessarily hurts it too much. I do think it's something that you'll notice and kind of just, pass on, like, oh, Grease is a product of its time. So if you go into that mindset, some of the things that are in this film may not bother you, but if that is something that bothers you, Grease does have some of that, so just that fair warning. But I would recommend Grease if you are a musical fan. It's an enjoyable musical. I really love it. I love the songs in this film, and it's just something I grew up with, so it does have a lot of nostalgia for me. And also just the vibe of this film, the 1950s, milkshakes, it's very fun. This film is fun, is how I would describe it. It truly is. So I would recommend it if you are a musical fan. If you're not, maybe if you're a John Travolta fan, because it's kind of cool to see him in that role, but you kind of do have to like musicals within this film because it is very much a musical film, especially with the dance and the singing. It does have a lot of that. But that's just my thoughts on the film Grease. But now it is time to see which movie I am going to be reviewing next week. And I just had the random number generator do it. And it is The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. So you will see my thoughts on that film next week. But have a great day. Bye!